Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Conceptual Genetics and Breeding. In our previous video we have started about discussing DNA replication. In that we have studied about the basic things of DNA replication and how the DNA replication takes place in the cell. So we will discuss in this video the initial process of DNA replication. So what is DNA replication? We have already discussed that making of new DNA copies from the existing copies, and this DNA replication, it is being carried out by DNA polymerase enzymes. So these enzymes, they have ability, they carried out DNA replication always in the direction of 5:3. So 5:3, we were discussing about DNA structure, we said that DNA is a double helical structure. Double helical means it has two strands. Okay, so one strand, it is having the orientation 3' to 5', and another one is having opposite direction, that is 5' to 3'. So always DNA replication carried out in the direction of 5' to 3'. Okay, so it is required to remember that DNA replication will be always carried out in the direction 5' to 3'. So first step in DNA replication is to unzip the double helical structure of DNA molecule. So DNA is double helical structure, we know that, and for DNA replication to carried out, these two helix, they should be open up at some point. Okay, so suppose this is the DNA molecule, and first it is having, in between it is having these base pairs. Okay, these are the base pairs in which the bases, nitrogenous bases, they have been attached to each other from each strand with the help of hydrogen bond. Like here you have seen that this is A, which is attached to this strand, and this opposite is T, means thymine, which is attached to this strand. So these two, A and T, they attach it together with the help of two hydrogen bond. Likewise it is cytosine and guanine, these attached with each other with the help of three hydrogen bond. So these hydrogen bonds, they should break. Okay, so these hydrogen bonds, they should break, and this DNA should be open up like that. Okay, so this opening, it is known as unzipping of the two DNA strands. Okay, so the first requirement is to unzip this DNA double helix to make the single strand, localize single strand. Okay, this will be like that two strand of the double helix of the DNA, they will join together, but at some point they will be open up, means the hydrogen bond between the nitrogenous bases, they will be broken down, and this is known as unzipping of the DNA molecule. Here you can see that it is DNA double helix, and at last these two molecules, they have been open up. Okay, this strand and this strand, they have been open up from the by breaking the hydrogen bonds. So this is known as unzipping, and it is carried out by the enzyme known as helicase. This enzyme helicase, it breaks the hydrogen bonds holding the complementary bases of DNA together. Okay, so helicase is the enzyme which will break the hydrogen bond between these nitrogenous bases, and it will make the two DNA molecules to break apart. Okay, so the separation of these two single strand of DNA, it creates a Y-shaped structure that is known as replication fork. So what is replication fork? This is the replication fork. This is a Y-shaped structure. Okay, if you will see, that this is a Y, the English word Y-shaped structure. Okay, So it looks like alphabet Y. That's why it is known it is known as replication fork. So when DNA open up from one side, this is carried out by helicase enzyme. Helicase enzyme come and it breaks down the hydrogen bond, resulted into formation of replication fork. The two strands will act as template for making the new strands of DNA. So we, in our previous video, we have already discussed that DNA replication is semi-conservative. Means these two strands, they will separate from each other. Okay, likewise at the end they completely separate, and by taking these old strand as a template, a new strand will be synthesized. So at the end, these two DNA strand, old DNA strand, they will be used as template by DNA polymerase to synthesize the new DNA strands. Okay, so this is DNA replication, and the complete process we will discuss in our coming videos. So one of the parental DNA strand which is oriented in the 3' to 5' direction towards the replication fork, this strand is known as leading strand. So the two DNA strand, these are the two DNA strand. You can see this is the one DNA strand, and this is the another DNA strand. The strand which is having this 5' to 3' orientation, this is known as leading strand. Okay, and the other strand that is having 3' to 5' direction, it is known as lagging strand. Why it is so? Because this strand, this leading strand, it will be continuously replicated by DNA polymerase. Because DNA polymerase, it builds a strand that runs anti-parallel to its, that is 5' to 3' direction. Okay, so the strand which is having orientation this 3' to this 5' to 3', it will be, or we can say this if we count from here, okay, 3' to 5'. This is a leading strand because DNA always synthesize new strand in the direction 5' to 3'. Okay, so that's why it is leading strand, because this DNA polymerase, it has a ability that it will only do DNA synthesis in the direction 5' to 3'. So because you all know that if a DNA strand is 3' to 5', then its opposite strand will be 5' to 3'. So DNA polymerase, it does not face any problem, and it synthesizes a continuous DNA strand. That's why this is known as a leading strand of DNA. Then the other parental strand which is oriented in 5' to 3' direction away from the replication fork. So we have to see the direction from the replication fork. Okay, and this strand is known as lagging strand. Why this is lagging strand? Because DNA polymerase replicate discontinuously on this strand. If you will see in the image, you will see that this is the replication fork from here in this direction. So this strand is 5' to 3'. Okay, and this strand is known as lagging strand because DNA polymerase will do some extra work to carry out DNA synthesis at this strand, because DNA polymerase will carry out this DNA replication only in the direction of 5' to 3'. So this strand itself has 5' to 3' direction in the replication fork direction. So DNA synthesis cannot take place in the 5' to 3' direction this way, because this template strand, this parental strand is 5' to 3'. So DNA replication will be carried out in 5' to 3' direction. So it should be carried out in the opposite direction in the form of small segment or small fragments of DNA, and these fragments are known as Okazaki fragments. That's why DNA synthesis will be discontinuous in the form of small segments in the direction of 5 dash to 3 dash, because this is the direction of 5 dash to 3 dash for the template strand. So for the new strand, this will be the direction of 5 dash to 3 dash. So that's why it is known as lagging strand, because on this strand DNA replication will be in discontinuous form in the form of small segments, which are known as Okazaki segments or Okazaki fragments. Okay, so as a result of their different orientation, the two strands are replicated differently in different manner. One is continuous and another one is discontinuous. So on the leading strand, DNA replication will be continuous, and on the lagging strand, DNA replication will be discontinuous. So initiation of DNA replication. First of all, before discussing the entire process of DNA replication, we should know that what is unique origin of replication. So means origin of replication means from where replication will be begin. So at the point where replication begins is known as replication origin. So the point in DNA where replication usually starts is known as origin of replication. And this origin of replication is unique in each and every organism. Okay, so that means at a specific point, okay, at a specific point in the DNA, always DNA replication will start, and that specific point is known as origin of replication. In bacterial and viral chromosomes, there is usually one unique origin of replication per chromosome, because they have a single chromosome as their genetic material. Most of the bacteria and virus, or we can say the prokaryotic cells, they have a single DNA molecule, a single chromosome we can say, and they have one origin of replication on that chromosome. So this single origin of replication, it will control the replication of the entire chromosome. Okay, in large chromosome of eukaryotes, multiple origin collectively control the replication of a giant DNA molecule present in each chromosome. So in eukaryotes, there is lots of DNA which is present in the form of different chromosomes. So they have big genetic material, they have more genetic material, they have multiple chromosomes. So at one chromosome there are many origin of replication at the same time. So these origin of replications, they are known as multiple origin of replication. So one difference in between prokaryotic and eukaryotic origin of replication is that prokaryotes, they contain only one unique origin of replication per chromosome, and usually they have a single chromosome, so they have a single origin of replication. But in case of eukaryotes, they have multiple origin of replication. Okay, they have multiple origin of replication because their genetic material is big, their chromosomes are bigger in size, and they have many origin of replication. On those origin of replication, DNA replication carried out simultaneously. So these multiple replication origin in eukaryotes also occur at a specific site. So their site is fixed on the chromosome. Okay, and each origin, it controls the replication of a unit of DNA called a replicon. So basically, if it is a DNA molecule and it is having this origin of replication, this is the origin of replication, so it will control a specific segment of DNA, the replication of a specific segment of DNA in the nearby region, and this is known as a replicon. This is one replicon, this is second replicon, like that. So what is a replicon? Replicon basically a DNA segment that is controlled by a single origin of replication. So we can say most prokaryotic chromosome, they contain a single replicon, but most eukaryotic chromosomes, they contain multiple replicon. So in this image you will see that this is the prokaryotic DNA, because we know that in prokaryotes circular DNA molecule is there. So they have a single origin of replication. From this origin of replication, this replication start. Okay, and after completion of replication, two daughter DNA will be formed. So we know that DNA replication will be carried out in both the direction from the origin of replication. So this is one replicon because one single origin of replication is present in prokaryotes. So if you will see multiple origin of replication in eukaryotes, you will see that this is a long DNA molecule, for example, or here you can see in simpler form this is the parental DNA. The two DNA strands are there in simpler form. If you will see that here multiple origin of replication 1, 2, this is 3 and this is 4th. So in each origin of replication will start in taking place in both the direction. You will see that in both the direction replication is being carried out in at each origin of replication. So likewise this DNA segment will be controlled or will be replicated by this origin of replication. This DNA segment will be replicated by the second origin of replication. This will be by third origin of replication, and this will be by this fourth origin of replication. So these are known as 4 replicon. The DNA segment, the DNA region which is replicated by a single origin of replication, it is known as a single replicon. This is the second replicon, this is third replicon, and this is fourth replicon. So this is known as multiple origin of replication, and at the end of DNA replication the two DNA strands will be formed. This is one strand and this is the other strand, and we have already discussed that in each of the DNA molecule, these are the two DNA molecule, one will be parental strand and one will be newly synthesized strand. One will be parental strand and one will be newly synthesized strand, because DNA synthesis or DNA replication takes place in the semi-conservative manner. So from one DNA molecule, these two DNA molecules will be formed, in which one will be old strand and one will be newly synthesized strand. So in next video we will discuss the detailed structure of origin of replication in prokaryotes and in eukaryotes. So thank you so much.